Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is. Thank you all for tuning in for your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. This is a sports talk. We are once again joined by the Mutant Gingy. And today we're doing a little different since it's off season. We thought we'd bring in some golf. This is golf with your friends. So don't make fun of us if we suck too bad. We haven't really played it much. And Gingy, what are you looking at from this week?
Big news. Gingy here. Steelers
Oh, I
football re-signing Ben Roethlisberger. $14 million. Took a $5 million pay cut. Donkey. I'm sure we're going to get into that. Lots of things to talk about here. I don't know. We'll get into it, but I'm excited. What did you preview last week? We're talking some wide receivers, too,
Wide receivers, yeah. But I think we have to talk the Ben talk first. And can I break it down to you as a three-point thing? Ooh, look at that hole in one. All right, point one. The Pittsburgh Steelers made themselves better for the 2021 season. Point two. The Pittsburgh Steelers made a really, really bad move for the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Point three. This has nothing to do with Ben Roethlisberger because he did everything he should. He moved money to help the Steelers in 2021, and he took a pay cut for all the people who are really wondering, like myself, how much it'd be. Like I said, I wouldn't, and I still wouldn't, have signed him for anything more than vet min, but, well, we're past that now. He's not at vet min, but he did cut $5 million off his salary and do a lot of things that will free up some cap space for this season. So, let me bring it to you real quick, Gingy. This is a Ben Roethlisberger who in the past 10 years is 3-6 in the playoffs. You want to know what's more concerning to me about this? Do you know how many points the Steelers scored in 2 of those 3 wins?
What's that now?
Under 20. You want to know what's more concerning than that? Do you want to know how many times in those 3 wins Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball for over 250 yards?
Hit me with the number.
0. 0 of those games did he throw over 250 yards. You want to know what's more concerning? He's averaging over 2 turnovers a game in the past 5 playoff games. We haven't won a playoff game in the past 4 years. And we're a football team that is in cap hell and ended the season getting disrespected, dismantled, and just disgraced by the Cleveland Browns. So I think this move is good for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 2020 because I think Ben gives you the best chance to be, oh, I forgot, you have to jump there, to be competitive, right? But the question is, do we want to be competitive or do we want to be a championship? Because he does not, give you the best chance to win a championship. But if we're okay with just being a meh team, this was a really good move. And I think for 2021, this gives us the best chance of being the 3rd best team in the AFC North. Because when you look at the roster, nice hole in one, we are the 3rd best roster in the division. And we're in cap hell and we're losing a bunch of players. Do you think we get better by signing Ben? Even though it is not much money into this year because they did restructure to where it's not much for this year. So, I'll give him that. It wasn't a big hit for this year, but it's a terrible hit moving money into next year. And this is a team that needs to rebuild. It was clear we needed to rebuild last year when you look at the way that team ended. And last year was supposed to be Ben's last hurrah. We put all this money in this team, moved all this money to screw us over this season so that Ben could get one more go at it. You know what? He failed. But instead of the Steelers doing the right thing and moving on and restarting this thing, we're now looking at pushing money into next year. Because there's no way you re-sign Ben Roethlisberger with the intent of not making the team around him better, which means we're going to move more contracts into next year, which we already did with Cam Hayward's, which means we're moving even more money to next year, which makes it even harder to rebuild because you can't afford to sign someone if you don't have any money. And we're going to move contracts into next year. We're going to keep players who shouldn't be kept, and we're going to have a pretty big cap hit going into next year for players who probably are going to be either underperforming by that time or not on the team, probably in Ben's case. This is just... I don't understand what the point is here for the Steelers. I love what Ben did because you can't blame Ben for wanting to come back and give one more go. You can't hate on Ben for not being happy with the way things ended. So Ben coming back, giving some money away, which by the way he never had to, but giving some money away so he could come back and this team could be better, that's good on Ben. But this is a ultimate failure on the Steelers by not realizing this team is at best, if we reach our ceiling, unless something crazy happens, if we reach our ceiling, our talent level is a one and done. What I mean by that is, if we make the playoffs, we have a chance at maybe winning a wild card round game, but you're not going to beat Buffalo. You're not going to beat a Kansas City. You're not going to beat whoever ends up winning the AFC North, because I think both those teams are better. I don't think you have a chance against them. So at best, you're building a team to be one and done because for some reason giving Ben one more chance wasn't enough. It has to be one more chance. It's like an alcoholic who's like, yeah, I'll stop after this beer. 12 beers later, they're driving their car home in the ditch. Like, it's just not a good look, dude.
Oh, that's a tough analogy right there. Donkey to end on that little statement. Yeah, there's still a lot of things that need to be
I just
addressed.
jumped to the wrong hole.
Yeah, you did. That was a nice spectate. Yeah, there's still a lot of things that need to be addressed, and one of the things I think this offense needs a shake-up. And we'll have to see what the Matt Canada offense brings to the table, but one of the things that I'd like to see more, Ben did get paid $14 million. Mr. I don't need to play for nothing. Did save what? 15 mil? 12 mil on the cap hit overall?
It's like 10 mil on the cap hit, I think, or something. Maybe over 10 mil on the cap hit. But I believe it's like 10 mil on the cap hit, yeah. Maybe 12, 14. I don't know. Actually, I think you're right. I think it's better. I think it was 5 off the top, then an additional like 10 mil saved. So 15-ish, right?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, which does help the cause in Steelerland, don't get me wrong. Really had them.
Well, that was a bad
Really
idea.
had them all messed up there. Kinda with the contract situation. This was always foreseen to be a problem. Overall, there's a high level IQ donkey on the mini golf. Nice work,
dude. It's still hitting me. It won't let me shoot.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that need addressed here. In fact, the running game. And one of the criticisms I did have about Ben Roethlisberger having this $14 million thing is one of the things I did look at after last year as a valid criticism is I'd like to see the offense be a little bit diverse. And what I think we're doing is running out of the shotgun a little too much for me. I don't know what type of quarterback Ben intends to be in the future, moving forward here. You know what I mean? But
we need to put the bumper balls on so we can whack each other out of the way.
I think he really needs to stick to his roots.
You did hear the report that the reason the Steelers play so much shotgun is Ben refuses to play under center.
And that right there is my criticism. I think that he needs to play under center, donkey.
I don't disagree with you.
This type of offense that we're seeing right here, it did get us to 11-0. Ben Roethlisberger is a guy, but this offense needs deception. This offense needs something fresh and new, and you have to not know what's coming. And
all the experts in the world, though, said we were the worst 11-0 you ever been. And everyone tried to... Oh, you're kidding me. I'm an inch off. And we were, dude. We were a fake 11-0. And look what that offense did when the defense stopped giving them free points.
Yeah.
I want to really focus. Look at that last half of the year offense. That's trash. And then look at Ben's performance in the playoffs over the past decade. This is at best, even if you fix this, it's a one-and-done team. Because we're still in cap hell, and in order to bring in a big-time player like Stephon Diggs, a DeAndre Hopkins, a difference maker, you have to have cap space. And no matter what we do, we're not going to have cap space.
Oh, boy. Launched that one. No, there's definitely some cuts to be made, and donkey, that's going to be the next interesting question. Now that Ben Roethlisberger's number is figured out, who is going to be able to stay and who is going to have to take the walk?
I don't know, but I'm so scared. It sounds like the guy they're most interested in trying to bring back is Juju. That scares me. It really does.
That's a tough choice. He has not proven to be the number one.
No, and as a matter of fact, in an offense that passed the ball more than any other team last year,
Nice.
number one Juju didn't even get 1,000 yards receiving. Number one Juju couldn't even average 10 yards a catch. Number one Juju came in the 63rd ranked wide receiver by PFF. If you want to just go off that stat, that means he's what? A bad number two? And this is on an offense that passed the ball a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't like it. Like I said, I think it's a great move for the 2021 Steelers because it gives them the best chance to be meh. But at the end of the day, do we care if the 2021 Steelers go 10-6 and lose a playoff game, or go 8-8 and don't make the playoffs, or go 6-10 and don't make the playoffs? Does any of those make a difference for you? Is the goal here just to make it to the playoffs and lose to the frickin' Browns? Is that the goal now? Is that what is a good season for Pittsburgh now?
It better not be. Not in my mind, don't
That's
be.
what
Not
we're
at
saying.
all.
We're doubling down on what we did last year. We're not going to change a damn thing. We're going to
We
keep
gotta
the
see
Ben
what we're gonna do about
Roethlisberger
the running
special,
game, don't
and
we?
we're going to make Ben the highest paid player on this team.
We got to see what we're going to do about the running game. I'm excited for the draft now.
Do you think this hurts us in the future, though? Because now in the draft, we're going to look for instant impact players instead of long-term answers.
100%, yeah. If we're not looking for long-term answers, that inherently is going to hurt you in the future, Donkey, unquestionably. It's just whether or not you have faith and confidence that this team can be what we describe as successful with Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, but in what world can we field a better team than we fielded last year?
Yeah, I'm not certain that we can.
We have a worse cap hit. We're about to lose 4-5 big time players on defense. Possibly our number one wide receiver, our number one running back, 3 of our 5 starting offensive linemen, our better blocking tight end. I mean, tell me where the upside is of Ben coming back, and Ben coming back at a cap hit that hurts next year. Because to me, this is what I told you. If Ben comes back, I'm cool with it, but they cannot push money into future years. We said, fuck that. We're putting all sorts of money into the future years now. Like, because you have to say, they did Hayward's contract so this would happen, and you have to assume they're going to do it to more people's contracts, push more money into future years. And that's bad business. That's not the Steeler way. That's how you become the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, ooh, the Dallas Cowboys.
That's how you become them. I mean, but at least Romo had the decency to hang it up. We're talking about Ben Roethlisberger, who at this point is no better than a Tony Romo, and that's like ceiling. His ceiling is a Tony Romo right now. You're telling me the Steelers are going to win with a Tony Romo?
I don't think they can.
So then why are we doubling down on a... Because let's be honest, did you not think last year they went all in to give Ben one last chance? Did they not go all in last year?
I'd say that, yeah.
So then why do you do it again? Because I'm sorry, but, and I told you this before, yeah, Ben gives them the best chance to be a slight winning team, but if they're going to win a championship, it has to be someone different. And I don't mean anything against Ben, because you can build a team that could win with Ben, probably. But the thing is, we tried that last year, and it didn't work out, and Ben got exposed when people realized he's the 25th most accurate deep ball passer. Let's make him try to beat us deep. And outside of one decent half against the Colts, every team that did that spanked our ass because of it. We're going to go ahead and give that another run? Bro. Call me skeptical.
Yeah.
And Gingy, I need you to convince me that this is the move that can win us a championship next year. Because I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know if it is either, Donkey, but I don't know if the options that were all presented on the table were any better at winning a championship than this one. And Kate, like you said, I mean, there's benefits to starting the rebuild early, but it is a rebuild, and that is that's a a non-competitive football team in that mode.
It is, but Think of all the cap space you'd have if you don't start moving these contracts. You don't start bringing in these contracts that are going to pay into next year. Instead of bringing in a overpaid guy like an Eric Ebron or a Derek Watt, you keep that money, and then next year you have the cap space to get a disgruntled superstar like a DeAndre Hopkins or a Stephon Diggs to go with a young quarterback who has a year of starting under his belt.
Yeah, that's the long-term play.
The Steelers need to realize they gave Ben that one chance. They don't owe him anything, but it's like, nah, we're going to get Ben the keys to the franchise, and if it runs us into a 6-year hole, who gives a hell? And, bro, I can't. I just can't. Oh boy, what's going on here? Hello.
Oh my.
Hi,
that was
Gingy.
exciting.
That was nuts. Last time I played this course, I got max out on this because I hit the ball way too many times. Oh no! I fudged it up. I want to redo. Help!
Oh no.
I am trapped
No,
in hell.
I want to see Ben Roethlisberger under center. I want to see a running game. I think there's some places to save some money. Okay.
Listening.
It's got to be at the corner. There's got to be one of the corners have got to go.
So we're going to lose 3 starting corners? Or 2? Or 3?
Yes,
No, 3.
2.
3 starting caliber corners?
Which 3 are you speaking of?
Hilton, Sutton, and one of the 2 under contract.
Oh. We're not going to lose both Hilton or Sutton. We're going to lose 2. We're going to lose one of them and one of the ones
How
under
do we
contract.
re-sign them, though?
I bet you get Cam Sutton cheap.
I doubt it. He actually was like our top-rated cornerback in all coverage metrics. Someone's going to pay him $6 million a year. And at $6 million a year, he's outside the Steelers' price range.
Yeah, he would be. I don't think he's getting $6 million a year. You've always thought highly of Cam Sutton, though.
But you have to remember, though, Jalen Ramsey just reset the cornerback market. So you're looking at Cam Sutton getting money. Remember how much we gave Steven Nelson? We gave him about $7 million a year. And Steven Nelson wasn't any better than Cam Sutton.
I think Mike Hilton might be a $6 million guy, but not. Cam Sutton's more like a $4 million guy. My opinion.
Even at $4 million, can we sign him?
I don't think so. We just picked up J.C. Hassenheimer, what, 1.7?
Wow! Let's go!
New legacy of centers in Pittsburgh land.
All right, well, you know what? We have plenty of time to talk cap stuff, and we have plenty of time to not even think about these moves, or maybe we'll think about what moves we would make a little closer to draft time when a little more things shake out and we're a little closer to what we can do. Why don't we talk about the wide receivers? My goal for this week. It wasn't pretty.
The underperforming Dropsies crew?
I did my research. We did not have a single receiver in the top 20 in yards, even though we were the football team that threw it the most in the NFL. We did have a receiver come in the top 10 in catches in Juju, and in the top 20 in catches in Deontay Johnson. Okay, cool. We only had 2 receivers average over 11 yards a catch, and that was James Washington, the number 4 receiver, and Chase Claypool, the number 3 receiver. Our other DJ barely averaged over 10 yards a catch, and Juju's under 10 yards a catch. But the kicker to me was, and I know PFF's not the greatest grader for this, but I wanted to go to PFF and see if we had any good rated wide receivers, right? Oh, I didn't realize that was a... Oh, maybe it'll let me stay. Come on, let me stay. Oh, cheap. I didn't realize how bad it was till I looked at that. Who would you like me to start with? The wide receivers or the tight ends in terms of, oh, boy.
Wide receivers, please, Donkey.
All right. You want to take a guess at who our top-rated PFF receiver was?
Washington.
Claypool. James Washington was
yeah.
actually lowest. He came in at 35th. But he was only a situational guy, so his stats weren't that bad because every big play he made was like a normal person making 2 big plays because of his snap count. So 35th is okay for a rookie and okay for the potential. But then you need someone leading it, right? You need that leader type. Bro,
yeah.
Our wide receiving core, 61st out of 127. So mid-pack. 63rd. And then James Washington was 91. So between him and Claypool, you average like the 60th for your number 3 receiver. You're talking the offense that threw the ball the most had no overly productive wide receivers.
That's not
You're talking,
good.
We didn't even have a 1,000-yard receiver, Gingy.
And I think that's on the receiving core more so than it is Ben Roethlisberger.
Is it? Or is it on a quarterback who was 25th in accuracy on the deep ball? Do you not have a 1,000-yard receiver because you didn't have a quarterback who could hit the deep ball? And I said it through the whole year.
Drops amongst that squad, don't
the
you?
drops
Tell me
are
that
amongst
number.
it too, but oh my gosh, the most in the league. But that depends on what receiver you're looking at. Juju breaks 1,000 yards if Ben can hit the deep ball, because Juju was our closest. Claypool maybe breaks it. The thing is, it's a mixture of having a bunch of streak wide receivers. We have a lot of 9-go route wide receivers, and we mix it with a quarterback who has a diminishing arm. Okay? Say what you want. He has a diminishing arm. But then, oh boy, where are we going here? But then, you also add in the fact that in terms of screen pass accuracy, passes on person. So it's a pass that's somewhere between the mouth level and the upper thigh. Do you know who was the worst in terms of accuracy of quarterbacks who threw over 70 screen passes this year?
Who was that, donkey?
Ben Roethlisberger. So you have a quarterback who can't throw the deep ball accurately as he came in 25th in the league, or the short pass accurately, mixed with a wide receiving core that there's no standout right now, right?
No, definitely not.
So we have a receiving core with no standout. How are we going to fix that? Because
Claypool's going to develop.
I don't disagree, but do you think he becomes a bona fide number 1 right away, or do you think he sits more in the Mike Wallace? My gosh, who's the other big guy we had? Well, I can't think of his name. The alien, Martavis Bryant type guy, right? Is he more of that? Or is he something better? And in year 2, is he that something better, or is he that more of that?
I'm not. It's not out of the question for me to develop into a bona fide number 1 from what I saw from that young man last year. I don't know about you, donkey. What I saw was pretty dang good.
It was. And there's the points to high point, but my bigger fear is, and well, that's not going to make it. And we talked about it. He's a deep play threat, okay? He's not a close quarters receiver. He's not that hammer guy. Can we get him the ball to make him into what he needs to be an explosive player? Do the Steelers have the ability to turn him into that number 1 right now? Are we going to have an offensive line that can block for 10 seconds to let the ball get thrown that deep?
Run game would be nice, donkey.
I hear you, but I'm looking at these wide receivers, and I'm seeing a bunch of potentially 1B guys. I don't see that just game wrecker yet. I mean, Claypool has the potential, but he had a lot of drops in there. He also wasn't very good at shorter routes. He doesn't really block that great. You're talking, we would need a huge development for him to become just a 1B next year, yet alone a 1A. And if there is not a single 1 in the receiving core, the group as a total looks terrible. Like, let's be honest here. Oh, that was a terrible decision. Are you scared of this receiving core? Are you scared of the big signing Eric Ebron, who came in ranked 61 out of 71 ranked tight ends because he can't block and he just takes plays off? Like,
didn't you bust me earlier in the season, donkey, for telling you that he was dogging it?
No, I said, this is what I told you. I didn't dog you. I said, dude, I never even thought about that, but I'll look and I'll check. And you know what? You said that. He does. He definitely takes plays off. You
No.
are not wrong. You called that 100%. And
When
you
he's
were
getting the
100%
ball,
right.
he looks awesome.
When he's not fumbling.
Oh, well, or dropping it.
Yeah, I mean, the dude, there's a reason that guy was still available, right?
True that.
How do we fix this? How does this receiving core take that next step? Because based off this year, I give that receiving core what? Like a D? No, they were passable. A C? C minus? And what scares me
Maybe.
more than anything is, Gingy, this is what everyone says about him too. But dude, they have so much potential. Do you know what the old famous word was? It was a baseball manager said this. You know what he said about potential?
What's that, donkey?
Potential gets you fired.
It might. And it might. If this team doesn't perform up to snuff next year, it might get you fired.
Oh my gosh, I am terrible. I'm not going to lie. A lot of these moves that we're seeing right now make me feel like this is a GM and a coach that are desperate to keep their jobs and are afraid they're going to lose them if this team isn't playoff caliber.
Not out of the question. Not out of the question on that, donkey. This hole's hard. What do you got here? Oh, the bouncer Rooney.
I'm getting owned here is what I got, dude. This is bad. Can I jump that? No, I got to go this way, don't I? All right, let's hope I don't hit this stick. Stupid stick. Dude, I'm going to take like a 12 on this hole. I think my lead is about to evaporate. But I looked at that receiving core. I did a whole evaluation, dude, and there's just there's not a single one on that team. And someone once told us, you're going to see the true Juju Smith-Schuster when I leave town. Well, that someone was holding a Lombardi trophy this year.
You know it.
Oh, I'm down a lot. Gingy just took a huge lead there. Ooh, Gingy. I don't even know what to do here.
These holes are hard to find, donkey.
Oh boy. Get a bounce. Get a bounce. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Ugh. That's all
it's gonna be scary. I'm looking forward to it though. With these wide receivers, I don't know. I don't know, donkey. I think it's a combination of both. Yeah, there's some issues with Ben there, but I don't think the group as a whole really performed up to its potential.
Oh, that would have been so clean. I have an idea. If I take a 20 on this hole, it's just because I'm trying to be crazy. All right, well, we covered the receivers, what we could see in them, and man, the drops, that's what their name should have just been this year. You know how we had Young Money and all those crazy names for our receiving cores before? These ones should just be called the drops, because that's all they did. Do you have anything else you're looking at this week, Gingy?
Not really.
Oh, okay, I should actually play the whole series now, or I'm going to take a 20. I'm here trying to jump it in, bro.
It's hard. This is a long one.
I was trying to jump that in. All right, well.
No, we know what Ben's number is. At least that gives us a lot more to figure out.
I feel like the Steelers at the end of the season, dude. It ain't working.
And this is what we're in for, donkey. I think I'm not that pumped about the decision really, but I think it was the best option on the table this year.
For 2021. Yeah.
This year.
To make this single team better. Yeah, it was the best choice, but I ran out of time. I mean, I don't see how this is the best option for the Steelers organization. This was just the best option for a year, and it's... Ooh, nailed it. In my opinion, killing the future to give one more time. And it's just not a good idea. But it is what it is. I mean, whatever. I'm going to root for them. I'm never going to root bad. So let's hope it works. Let's go. Here we go, Steelers. Woo! Time for some shout-outs, though. Gingy, what you looking at?
J.C. Hassenhauer, the future of the Steelers center legacy.
Jesus Christ.
Let's go. All right. I know he's not going to be he might be the guy. You know, we want him to be the guy, Donkey. We've had a strong
I hope to God he doesn't see the field.
we've always had a strong showing at center. Let's see what he's got. This is the rebuilding of the line. Hey, what we had last year didn't work. And Marquise Pouncey was a legend. Is a legend.
What was
Is a legend. Still, you know, didn't make it happen last year, but still.
I just wish his last 3 seasons didn't happen. They were all bad. Great player, though.
Yeah, how about you, Donkey? Shout out?
My shout out is to Ben for actually putting his money where his mouth is, because he said he's going to take a pay cut, he'll take less money, and he did. I mean, it's nowhere near what I wanted for as you said, Mr. Money doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, he did everything he needed to give the Steelers one more go with him. Whether or not that's a good thing or not, I like to see a dude who puts his money where his mouth is. And $5 million, bro. I know he's made a shit ton in his career, but that's a lot of dollar bills. But I guess when you look at it, where it's probably like, hey, you take this or you don't play is one thing. But still, he took it, and he seems to be cool about it. He's not overly complaining. He's not making a bunch of noise. So my shout-outs to Ben, dude. Kudos to him for trying to make it work for the Steelers. It's just, man, I really wish you didn't. But my shout-outs to you for doing it, because it's done. It's over with. At least now we have a semblance of maybe it could happen. Oh.
That's a heck of a thing, eh, Donkey? Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome. All right, Did you want to take us out?
All right. Here we are again, Steelers Nation. Wave them if you got them. Let's go. Friends with golf.
Golf with your friends.